So the FightMalaria Home project is aimed at finding novel targets in malaria, so the Plasmodium falciparum parasite, by docking all available hit compounds into available models from the proteome. So we have the whole proteome and we have a good number of models from that proteome, and we're docking each of those compounds into these models to see which ones would bind most closely. And then that's hopefully going to be a target that we can then focus drug discovery efforts on.
So BOINC is a distributed computing platform developed in the University of California. So basically it allows anyone in the world who has a computer to contribute CPU cycles to a scientific project. So what we've done is we've customized this software for the FightMalaria Home project. So we've customized this software to take a protein and a ligand and give us some kind of indication of how well they bind together. And using the results of this, we can hopefully find ligands which will inhibit a malarial protein and potentially act as a drug for malaria.
Okay, so the pharma industry have donated masses of data to academic groups. What they did is they searched, they actually did high throughput screening of a total of about 3 million compounds, and then they found 19,000, almost 19,000 hit compounds that were active against the whole Plasmodium parasite. Now that's fantastic work, and they generously gave it out in a publication, and they've given it away to the world to work on. But what it means is that we know that any one of those 19,000 compounds kills the parasite, but we don't know how it works. We don't know which protein it binds to, we don't know which pathway it's involved in, and we don't know whether or not some of them might work in a very similar way to the existing drugs. So what we're really interested in doing is trying to screen all 19,000 compounds and look for new targets that have never been sort of hit by, never hit inside the parasite before. Okay, so basically the idea involves taking models from the Andre Sali lab and then compounds from the Medicines for Malaria venture and using a docking software called Vina from Scripps, and then the BOINC software from Berkeley. And we're putting all of those together to create this docking environment. So another interesting, sort of exciting thing that's come out of it is that John Overington in Campbell is very interested in taking on the data that we produce, and he's going to integrate that into Campbell. So hopefully this will become integrated with a lot of facilities for people to work with, like the Tropical Diseases Initiative, which is sort of a kernel that's trying to collect up information relating to malarial proteins. And so this will be yet another piece of information per protein. So people in the future will be able to look at a protein and then go, what compounds could potentially bind this particular protein that I'm interested in? Oh, there's this project that's already done all of this, and here's all the data. So hopefully this will have some kind of longevity, which will be quite exciting. Hopefully at some point somebody's going to find a drug and it'll actually mean something. So.
And yeah, I've been very impressed by the level of feedback that I'm getting on the forum. So when we started at first, most of our users were expert BOINC users, so they were actually looking for projects, new projects to contribute to. So in the early days, our BOINC server wasn't exactly optimal, so we had lots of suggestions from the forum, and we implemented quite a few of them. And then as time went on, people became very interested in the science behind it. Okay, so to get involved in any BOINC project, you simply need to download a client. It's just a client which is freely available, and you can then attach to a project of your choice. There are several scientific projects. The one we're obviously interested in, FightMalaria Home, so you can go on our website, fightmalaria.org, and there are instructions on how to join the project there. So, yeah.
And I think at some point soon there's going to be a download, just a drop-down menu, and I think once you've installed BOINC, you'll actually be able to just scroll down the drop-down menu and choose our project. So it's literally that easy. What have we learned Okay, well, for one thing, it's really difficult to take on such a big project. I'm very surprised by how many small little components there are involved in this large undertaking. It started off as such a simple little idea. Take models that are available, take compounds that are available, take a docking program that can put the two together, and that's available. Take a distributed computation system that's available. So what's the problem? Surely it should be easy. But I started the project 7 years ago, and in the last 2 years we've done lots of computation, programming. Kevin's done loads of programming. Even while it's running, it feels like an organism that's chugging along, and we have to keep fiddling with it and fixing it, changing things, and it's been a lot more effort than we expected, I think.
Yeah, and I've been very surprised at the response we've got from the Boink community. Before we even started advertising the project, we had several hundred users, and these are people who are involved in many Boink projects, and they've contributed an enormous amount of computation to many projects, including ours now.
And can I just add to that, there's a Twitter account that I made, and the feedback there has been really positive as well, and some really interesting ideas have come from comments from people on Twitter. So it's really fun to be part of this community before you even start your work. Usually you only sort of talk to people after you've finished your work, but we're talking to people while we're doing our work, which is quite a fun way to do science. Certainly new for me.